Alright, what's going on? So today's video is going to be something I've been kind of wanting to talk about for a while. Something that I feel just not only affects me, but affects other black creators and entrepreneurs. Something that's kind of been ingrained into our culture for, I don't know, however long. But I guess it's time for us to talk about it. So today, we're talking about something that I want to call the pressure of being a quote-unquote mainstream black professional. And what does that look like? What is it and what does it look like? So, I got a lot of thoughts on it, so let's get to it. Alright, so you might be confused on what I'm actually talking about. So, before we actually hop deep into it, let me give you a little bit of backstory. So, as a teenager, as a kid, as an adolescent, I always thought it would be, the greatest thing ever to have a job where I had to wear, fancy suits every day. Like, for some reason, that was like the epitome of success. So, I always thought that way. Like, yo, I can't wait to get a job where I can wear these suits I got because I look great in the suit. It was all cool until I actually had a job where I was forced to wear these fancy suits every day. Once again, I looked damn good in a suit. But at the same time, I hated the idea of wearing a suit that had nothing to do with my job. So that's where the entrepreneur, the embedded entrepreneur me started to come out. I hated to be forced to do things that had nothing to do with my job. So when I first started my business, I dressed up a lot. Like I would go to networking events, I'll go to meetings, I'll be, collar shirt, loafers, hard bottoms, slacks, all that to meetings. And now that I think about it, I feel like I only did that because I felt like it was drilled in me since a young kid that the only way to be taken seriously is if you wear a suit. But the more and more I got into my entrepreneur journey, I realized that isn't the person that I wanted to be. I named my company the Rebel Society for a reason. I wanted to do things very unconventional, very outside the box. I didn't want to be a status quo person that's online telling you, hey, I'm a marketer. To grow your business, you need to dress like me. You need to wear a suit. You need to drive fancy Ferraris. You need to have houses on the beach. I didn't want to be that guy. So that is why over the course of, a couple months and years, my work style started to evolve. I was the guy that was coming in meetings with, t-shirts, jeans, sneakers. I was still fly. But I was my type of fly. I was comfortable, and I realized I didn't care what anybody else thought about me. I realized that I can do my job, if not a better job, when I have sneakers and jeans on as opposed to having a suit on, which doesn't really make sense when you're doing content creation and social media. Like, it just doesn't make sense at all. But lately I started to see this ideology a lot when it comes to not really just talking about the clothing, but more so talking about the culture of being a black professional. It's kind of crazy, but there is a culture of being a black professional. So, over the past year and a half, my work has actually taken me to actually work with a lot of people outside of my normal comfort zone. A lot of people who wouldn't necessarily fit my traditional ideal client, which is a good and bad thing. The good thing, it gives you new experiences, which I've learned a lot from this. But the bad thing, it sometimes proves why you have an ideal client to begin with. So over the course of this period, I've actually been told by different black people, sometimes, older black people, that to be taken seriously as a professional, you have to dress up. And like I said, that's something that I've always known. But now I've been asking the question of why though? And when I say why, is because when I look at the industry that I'm in, like I said before, I'm in a content creation, digital marketing, social media marketing industry. When I look at my peers across the board, no matter what race, location they're in, they're all kind of wearing the same thing, even though I look a little bit better in it, but they're all wearing the same thing. T-shirt, jeans, ripped jeans, sneakers, whatever the case may be, they're wearing their own style. Why, as black people, do we feel like dressing up makes us more professional? And then on top of that as well, another thing that I've realized is that with what I do, like I said before, I have a target audience or ideal client. My ideal client is very unconventional businesses who are outside the box, who are looking to do things that nobody else is doing. So my ideal client is more focused on results than what type of suit that you're walking in with. So with that being said, another issue that I've run into is I've been in meetings and I've been to, having discovery calls with different clients, and they tell me what they're trying to do or what they want to do. And then sometimes it's just not a good fit. Or sometimes I just don't want to do it. Or sometimes it's just a type of client that is completely outside of where I'm trying to go with my company. So there's been times where I've turned down work. I've actually turned down a lot of work in the past 6 to 7 months. And people feel like when they are paying you or when they're saying they're going to pay you, that you need to take whatever gig it is. But no, I became an entrepreneur so I could do the work that I really want to do. Somebody paying me isn't really a motivating factor because I was going to get paid regardless. And not to say that in a cocky way, but I wasn't going to do free work. I feel like this is something else that's kind of been ingrained into us as black people, that when somebody's paying you to do something, you have to do it. Or when somebody's offering to pay you, that you have to stop everything you're doing and take care of it right then. But like I said, as an entrepreneur, I fully decide on what I actually work on and what I don't work on. That's one of the joys of being an entrepreneur. I mean, to me it is anyway. That I can really turn down projects or really focus on the stuff that actually makes my heart sing, to quote a client. So I don't know if these are really issues that just black people go through. And actually, I don't know if, and I really don't want to make this just a black thing, but I feel like it attacks our culture so much that even when I tell somebody that this is my ideal client, and if they don't happen to fall in that, I feel like they get offended. Like, I mean, you have an ideal client as well for your business, and sometimes I might not be that person, which is cool. You're not for everybody. So, I mean, it just got me to really thinking, like, and I'm saying this like I don't have an answer to any of these things that I'm talking about, but it's just something I felt like, we should talk about as young creatives, entrepreneurs, black creatives, black entrepreneurs. Like, is there really a thing of being a mainstream black professional? Like, because if it is, I don't want no parts of that. I feel like I was put here to do the work that I want to do, work with the people I want to work with, live the life that I want to live, and have the greatest fucking time doing it. So I wish I could end it off with that, but so please, in the comments below, let's have a conversation about it. Let me know if this is something that you feel just black creators go through, or is it a universal thing? And is this ideology something that you agree with or you don't? I personally do not agree with it. I feel like you should have an ideal client. I feel like you should work with the people that you really want to work with, as well as you shouldn't have to, when your industry that you're in has nothing to do with how you're dressed or how you're perceived, then you should be able to do exactly what you want to do. I feel it's all about perception. This ideology is all about wanting people to perceive you a certain way, when the work that you do should be all the merit that you need and the numbers that you can actually show. So that's just something I've been thinking about. So like I said, if you have an answer to this, please leave a message in the comments just talking about it, because I would love to hear what other people have to say about this. So once again, this is Shy Harris of the Rebel Society, and good day, good evening, good night.